Hello everyone, this is your host, your friend, your boy, Jet Black, the one and only, here with another exciting video. And in this video, I am going to be playing some World of Paradigi, which of course is in AI Dungeon 2. AI Dungeon 2. It's been a minute since I played AI Dungeon 2. I just renewed my premium subscription. I've recently been interested in wanting to create my own paracosm, my own detailed imaginary world, and I decided what's a better way to do that than to, play around with some AI Dungeon 2. So I decided to make Paradigi, my new paracosm, in AI Dungeon 2. And I just want to do a quick video with you guys where I make a character and I just jump into the world and see what happens. The world of Paradigi. Paradigi is a colorful, cold, rainy, virtual world that is under constant threat due to invaders who wish to strip the world of its magical flowers. The flowers of Paradigi contain the life force essence that maintains the balance of all life on the planet. The planet of Paradigi is protected by superpowered warrior women called Femights, who each possess the ability to create imperfect clones of themselves and to wield one unique power that makes them stand out among their peers. Let's go to create character and just make something up. So I am going to make my character Jackson Hark. I'm going to go with a male. I'm going to be an invader. Invaders are beings from other worlds, realities, time periods, dimensions, and universes who have come to take the flowers of Paradigi for their own purposes. Let's see. And I can either be a Paradigi Guardian or an Invasion Officer. So the Paradigi Guardians fight to protect Paradigi from malicious invaders. Most of the Guardians are Femights, but some are reformed invaders who work alongside them. So I think I'm going to go for Paradigi Guardian. I'm then going to make my starting location. I'm going to be a Challenger. That's the faction that I'm going to pick. So challengers are invaders who wish to reform themselves and become an ally of the Femights. Challengers must pass rigorous tests from the challenge chiefs of Paradigi in order to prove their worth. So I'm going to be a challenger, and I'm going to go to the Challenger Arena lobby, which is where challengers go to be assigned a challenge chief who will test their worthiness to see if they deserve to be an ally of the Femights. Okay, cool. So let's hop into the world of Paradigi. Also, feel free to play your own music in the background. I normally don't like to put music in these videos because having your own music lets you really explore the world the way you want to and enjoy it the way you want to. Also, feel free to put this video on any speed setting you want because these can be long. It's a lot of reading, and increasing the speed may be better for your listening enjoyment. So, I already read the description of the world, so let's jump right into the prompt. You are Jackson Hark, a male invader from the world of Paradigi. You have been assigned to the most difficult challenge in the entire Challenger arena. You are tasked with winning a Femite's heart. You may choose to view the profiles of the various Femites in order to formulate a strategy. So, in order to prove that I'm worth allying with the Femites, I have to romance a Femite? Okay, that is not what I thought this was going to be like. I guess I'm going to look for a red-headed Femite. Let's see what we got here. Gotta put the moves on them. You notice a red-headed female warrior with a determined look upon her face. She is slightly shorter than you, but she carries herself like royalty. You decide to admire her from afar in order to not frighten her with your attention. Let's see. I'm going to ask the red-headed Femite for her name. This is weird. This is not what I thought it was going to be. This is the most difficult challenge, they said. The red-headed female warrior responds to you. My name is Dr. Dragon. Let's see. JudgeBot, you have a one-night stand with a woman, you gain 1 point. JudgeBot likes to say the craziest stuff. So Dr. Dragon, that's a cool name. I'm going to ask Dr. Dragon if she is a doctor. I imagine so based on the name, but it'd be interesting if she said she wasn't. Dr. Dragon explains to you that she is a doctor of physics and that she wants to use her knowledge of the laws of nature to help her planet fend off the continual attacks by the planet's inhabitants. She tells you the story of how she became a warrior. Okay, so she's a warrior, but she's also a physicist. And it's interesting that she said fend off the continual attacks by the planet's inhabitants. It was also interesting that earlier it said that I was an invader, but I'm from Paradigi. I'm going to actually change that part where it says I'm an invader from Paradigi and say that I'm an invader from another world. So I'm going to correct that earlier thing. Let's see. And then I'm going to change it from by the planet's inhabitants to continual attacks by invaders. Cool. So, Killbot said you are fighting a woman. Fighting women is hard. You gain 2 points. I hope I'm not about to fight Dr. Dragon. I'm going to explain to Dr. Dragon that I need to win the heart of a Femite in order to be accepted as an ally of the Femights. So I'm just gonna straight up hit her up and just explain like why I'm like approaching her and talking to her. You are nervous, but you must try to impress Dr. Dragon, even if doing so will require great sacrifice on your part. You confess your love for Dr. Dragon, and she is very flattered by your confession. That's not necessarily what I was going for, but I will roll with it. So, I confess my love to Dr. Dragon. I just met her. I'm surprised that she's flattered. She did just tell me a good bit about herself, I guess. So, maybe within the context of the situation, it's not too weird. It's like a love at first sight, head over heels thing, I guess. So, I don't even know what they mean by win the heart of a Femite. I guess I'm going to ask Dr. Dragon what I need to do in order to win the challenge and claim the heart of a Femite. Like, what does that mean? Do 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 do. Dr. Dragon is a stickler for rules, so feel free to ask her any questions that you have about the process. I just tried to. Hit me up with that retry. I like how it's like, you can attempt that. Okay, here we go. Dr. Dragon takes you to her secret base and asks you if you would be willing to undergo a series of experiments in order to increase your strength, speed, reflexes, senses, and durability by 100 times in order to increase your chances of winning the challenge. Let's see. I'm going to agree to the experiments. I want to do that with an adjective. I'm going to, not an adjective, an adverb. I'm going to excitedly agree to the experiments. I am very hyped for that. I'm all for that. What? I'm about to get superpowers? That sounds cool. Dr. Dragon explains each experiment in great detail and how each one will affect your abilities. The first experiment involves you drinking a potion that will increase your physical abilities by 100 times. The second experiment involves you injecting yourself with nanobots that will heal any wounds and regenerate lost limbs. I'm going to nod eagerly. I'm very interested in this. Getting superpowers is more up my alley. That's more of what I thought I would be doing in this adventure. So let's do that. Dr. Dragon tells you that the experiments will take place over the next week, and that you need to meet her here at this very spot 1 week from now. You give Dr. Dragon a hug before she enters the secret base and disappears into it. Okay, so I need to meet her at the secret base a week from now. What am I gonna do for like a whole week? What? Okay. I guess I'm going to look for an inn to stay in for a week. I don't know where else I would go, I guess. Because I need a place to stay. You find an inn called the Dragon's Amulet and decide to stay here for the week. The innkeeper is a middle aged man with graying hair and a friendly personality. Okay, cool. I'm going to stay at the inn for a week and then return to Dr. Dragon to begin the experiment. Well, I guess to begin the experiments. Do, 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 do. Dun, 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 dun. When you return to Dr. Dragon, she greets you warmly and then explains that the top secret facility that the ECS has been using to develop new weapons was just destroyed by a powerful force of Femight warriors. Whoa, hold on. I'm gonna get rid of this extra part where it just said doctor at the end with no additional context. I returned to Dr. Dragon. She greeted me warmly, and then she said the ECS has been using to develop new weapons was destroyed. Okay, I'm going to ask what the ECS is. I have no idea what that is. Dr. Dragon explains that the ECS is the Earth Defense Coalition, and that it is an organization dedicated to keeping peace throughout the galaxy. Okay. So a peacekeeping organization had a top secret facility that they were using to develop weapons to protect the galaxy and was destroyed by Femight warriors. Let's see, I'm gonna say Femights fight to protect the magical flowers of Paradigi. They would only destroy a ECS facility if it was a threat to the flowers of Paradigi. That's my 2 cents, at least. Like, I don't think they would fight a peacekeeping organization if it wasn't for a good reason. Dr. Dragon nods in agreement and says that you will need to help the ECS find out who destroyed the facility in order to prove your loyalty and worthiness to marry a Femight. Oh crap, I have to marry a Femight. Okay. You're surprised that Dr. Dragon. I guess you're surprised. In general, to be honest, yeah. You are surprised and somewhat startled. But you accept your mission. So, my mission is to figure out who destroyed the facility. Dr. Dragon leads you into a massive room filled with tanks of green liquid and says that these tanks are full of clones. She explains that she wants you to find the best possible match for your personality and skills. Oh, so I'm gonna marry a clone? Okay. Um cool. I'm gonna look This is actually really interesting. I didn't expect this to be where it was going. So I thought Dr. Dragon and I were getting paired by the story. But apparently Dr. Dragon is like, you want one of these clones? You want to marry one of these clones? You ain't marrying me. Okay, so if that's the case, I'm going to say I would like to marry a clone that is nerdy, a skilled fighter, and has an extroverted personality. cool. So let's just see how that goes. Do do do. Do 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 do. Dr. Dragon looks a bit startled by your request, but nods and says that she will find the best match for you. A week later, you meet your new clone mate, Victor, in the ECS headquarters. He immediately shakes your hand and says, "It's nice to meet you." Huh. So you're a male clone of Dr. Dragon? I kind of thought that I would be paired with a female clone. But whatever, I guess. Are you ready to help me figure out who attacked the ECS facility? Yeah, okay. So, story keeps throwing me for a loop, but I'm going to keep riding with it. Victorious immediately nods and says, "I gathered all the information I could about the attack while you were having your test done. Let me show you." Okay, cool. I'm going to follow Victor and listen closely. Because I want to know the details of the attack. Because we're just trying to figure out who were the Femights who attacked the secret facility. We've determined that the people who destroyed the ECS facility were the Sisterhood of Karn. The teleportation signature was a dead giveaway. He pulls out a sheet of paper with some writing on it and begins reading it to you. Okay. I'm going to interrupt Victor and ask him about the Sisterhood of Karn. Because you just start saying names. You gotta give me more context. The Sisterhood of Karn is a group of warrior women who worship the god Karn, the god of war. They are led by their priestesses called matriarchs. If you had to guess, what were they after, you ask? Okay. Sure. I mean, probably weapons. It is interesting that they had me ask that. Oh, interesting. So Victor said, "Nothing at all. They are religious fanatics who believe in the destruction of technology because they view it as a corruption of the natural order. This makes them our enemies, but also people who will attack any facility, anywhere, without reason." Goodness. And I'm going to put, explains Victor. Okay. So in order to prove my worth to the Femights, we'll have to work together to take down the Sisterhood of Karn. It's interesting that the Sisterhood of Karn are like Femights, but they aren't necessarily like after the magical flower. Like they're not bad guys as in like, oh, they're threatening the magical flowers of Paradigi. They're bad guys because they fight our allies. Like I guess the Femights are probably allied with ECS. Because ECS protect the galaxy and Paradigi is like a planet in the galaxy. So then because the Sisterhood of Karn are so anti-technology, they go in and they mess with the ECS, so then the Femights are like, oh, you guys have gone too far, you're attacking our allies. So it's like a splinter group of Femites. And now, if I want to become an ally of the Femites, I have to team up with my clone Femite husband, who's like a male Femite, which a male Femite is just like an interesting concept, because it's like a female race of like superpower warrior women. But it is cool because they make imperfect clones of themselves. So that's actually interesting. Like the idea that like the difference between him and maybe like OG Dr. Dragon may be only that he's a dude. Or maybe he has different powers from Dr. Dragon. There's like interesting ways that this can go. So I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued for sure. So let's see. So Victor said, "Indeed, that is the plan. You will meet up with a group of ECS mercenaries who will lead you to the Sisterhood. From there, you will have to find a way to make friends with them and get them to work for the ECS. Oh, it's not like a go in and beat them up thing. It's like diplomatic, but I'm going with mercenaries. And then the game had me say, that sounds easy enough. No, it does not, but yeah, we'll try, I guess. Let's see. I'm going to say, continues Victor. That sounds easy enough. You reply. Cool. So let's see. So I'm going to go meet up with the ECS mercenaries at the headquarters of the Sisterhood of Karn. I have about 4 more minutes before I'm going to pivot from this to something else, which means I have 4 more minutes left in this video. What's the plan, boss? You ask. We're sending a secret agent to join the Sisterhood to gather intel and find a way to take them all out at once. Since you're new, you get to go on this mission. Why is that something that I would do as a new person? Explains the ECS mercenary captain. I'm just gonna make that like all capitalized for no reason. So I have to join the Sisterhood of Karn. Okay. I'm going to attempt to join the Sisterhood of Karn. As a double agent for the ECS. Or I guess as an infiltration agent for the ECS. This is so far so good, I guess. You are given a week of training on how to properly use a bow and arrow, as well as other techniques to blend in with the other Karnic cultists. You also learn about the religion itself, though you find it quite silly. Okay, cool, so I actually get training and stuff. That's awesome. So now I have like bow and arrow skills and I understand their religion. I'm going to, I guess, confront the leader of the Sisterhood of Karn. Or maybe not confront. I'm just going to ask the leader of the Sisterhood of Karn if she could forge an alliance with the ECS. I'm just going to cut to the chase. I'm glad that I got like the skills though. Like now I can use a bow and arrow. We could ally ourselves with your company in return for a cult of the prophets, as well as letting us have our own personal world to rule. Whoa, says the leader of the Sisterhood of Karn. So they're anti-technology, but they'd be willing to join the ECS for money and their own world to rule. Let's see. I'm going to say the Sisterhood of Karn is motivated by their love of war and hatred of technology. But you would be willing to ally with the ECS for money and a world without technology? Let me ask the ECS if they would agree to your terms. Yeah, so I decided that it would be better for me to just like go in and just talk to them. Tell them that we will also put a good word for them with our God and get him on their side. That should get the deal done, she says with a smile. And then it says, you know the perfect person to contact about this agreement. Yeah, the ECS mercenary captain. I don't know many other characters that I would even go to. So I'm going to ask the ECS mercenary captain if he agrees with the terms set by the leader of the Sisterhood of Karn. They have to get like a whole planet to themselves, and they need money. What? So he says, this is perfect. We don't have to pay them anything, and we gain a powerful ally against the Adelpha 3. I'll have PR write up a contract and get back to you, he says, happy with your work. You are... Wait, hold up. What do you mean you don't have to pay them anything? They want an entire planet to themselves and a cut of the ECS's profit. Yeah, like that sounds like a lot. Ooh, he said, yeah, that's not happening. Even if our contracts dictate such huge demands, we would never give it to the Sisterhood, he explains, annoyed by your question. And I'm going to get rid of this extra thing that it had me say. So, you want to pretend to agree to their terms in the hopes that they won't retaliate? Like, I don't know. That sounds like a slippery slope, ECS. You're just going to, like, not actually give them what they want. They'll notice not having a planet. He said, no, we'll agree to the terms. We'll just have to make sure that the Sisterhood disappears after we get what we want, he says. Oh gosh. So the ECS is going to say, yeah, you guys will get a planet and you'll get a cut of the profits. But in return, we're just going to use the Sisterhood of Karn to defeat Adelpha 3. I guess I'm going to say, tell me more about Adelpha 3. Because I don't know anything about Adelpha 3, but apparently they're like an even bigger threat. There's not much to tell. It's 3 worlds that are very close together. They're all controlled by the Flarganese Kingdom, who are known for their skilled mercenaries. ECS has had some dealings with them before, but nothing major, he explains. So Adelpha 3 used to be our allies, but now we want the Sisterhood of Karn to work with us to take them out? Yeah, it sounds like we used to work with Adelpha 3, but just barely did we do that, and now we want to beat them up. Basically, yes. The leader of the Flarganese Kingdom is a tricky one. He's managed to convince most people that he's a very logical and reasonable man, but in reality, he's just an egotistical maniac that will destroy anyone who doesn't meet his impossible expectations. Oh shit. Okay. So they're like, we've worked with them before, but they're like unhinged, and it's not actually like a good idea for them to just be around. I kind of understand the idea of them being bad guys. I mean, even the Sisterhood of Karn seem kind of weird with their like anti-technology thing that they're on. And the fact that they like worship the god of war, like they do seem really violent and chaotic, and they're just gonna be like anti-technology on like any level. So they don't really seem like they'd be cool to work with. Like they turn on anyone who uses tech. And then Adelpha 3, they seem like their leader is not necessarily the best person either. Um, so I guess now what I need to do is I'm going to arrange a meeting between the Sisterhood of Karn and the ECS for a treaty signing. So I'm gonna let them do it. I'm gonna let them like do the whole contract thing. Cause I don't know. I guess I'm still on the side of ECS even after hearing all this bullshit. I'm fine with it. I'm trying to become an ally of the Femights, so I'm gonna do what I have to do. You meet with several members of the Sisterhood, including their leader, in a conference area. You can feel your head buzz as an unfamiliar presence enters your mind. So glad you could make it. I do hope that you're here to sign our treaty, the leader says. Let's see. I am surprised that the leader of the Sisterhood of Karn has has telepathic powers. I'm worried that the leader might be able to detect. Whoa, whoa, hold up a second. Oh crap. I'm gonna warn the ECS mercenary leader that the Sisterhood of Karn might be able to use telepathy to realize that the ECS isn't actually going to agree to the terms. Well, it's not that they're not going to agree, aren't actually going to follow through on the agreement. Like, things might be about to get really violent if you're telling me that they can read minds. That explains how she knew that I was, like, with the ECS. Because I tried to, like, infiltrate the Sisterhood of Karn, and then once I was already, like, a member for a week, and they trained me, I went up to the leader, and I asked the leader, like, hey, could we have an alliance with ECS? And she straight up said, yeah, I'll ally myself with your corporation. Like, she just knew I was already with them. Oh, crap. I think I just led the ECS into a trap, and the Sisterhood of Karn is just going to turn on us. As soon as you mention this, the leader of the mercenary company starts laughing. You fell for it. Knew you'd think that. You hear the Sisterhood leader say. The mercenary captain turns to you. Wait, what? As soon as you mention this, the leader of the mercenary company starts laughing. So the leader of the mercenary company laughs. So he's like, and then the leader of the Sisterhood of Karn says, you fell for it. Knew you'd think that. And then the mercenary captain turns to you. I'm slightly confused. Let me retry that. I was slightly thrown. Let's see. What? Oh, they won't actually expect us to follow through on it, but we'll trick them into attacking anyway to get the upper hand, the mercenary captain says. He seems pretty confident in this plan. You realize that the mercenary captain knew that the Sisterhood would know that the treaty was a ruse and that it would erupt in a battle that the ECS feels like they can win. What? So, what the fuck? This. Thanks, nice plan, you say, knowing that you're about to pit two groups of dangerous, powerful women against each other for your own purpose. You're not wrong, because I'm doing all this just so I can become an ally of the Femights. It's the best I could come up with on... Oh, sorry. It's the best I could come up with on short notice, he says with a shrug and a smirk. Okay, cool. So I guess I'm going to say... So, leader of the Sisterhood of Karn, I imagine you've already read our minds and know that the ECS is here to take you down. I think you should surrender now. I'm gonna jump on his confidence or whatever. Let's hit it up. No need to have any like false pretense. You can feel her presence into your mind. She grants you a brief glance into the future, to the scene of her death. You see yourself killing her repeatedly with hundreds of different methods. This woman is no pushover. This woman won't fall easily. Whoa, what? So, she can resurrect? Huh. I'm going to say, mercenary captain. I believe that the leader of the Sisterhood of Karn is a precognitive telepath with regenerative abilities. Let's see. Can't believe I spelled abilities wrong. If her regenerative abilities are like mine, then she likely gets them from nanobots, which means we might be able to disrupt her regenerative abilities with an EMP. So that's my thing. If she is showing me the future and she like dies over and over and over again, that makes me think that she can come back to life. I understand that. They don't call me the Merchant of Death for nothing. I've got something special in store for her that I've been perfecting for years at my underground experiments facilities, the Merchant of Death says with a laugh. Huh. So the mercenary captain is also known as the Merchant of Death? Okay, cool. I guess I'm gonna say, well, after you, Merchant of Death. Show me your plan. Well, I guess, yeah. Go kill her then. I'm waiting. Cause yeah, I just know from what she showed me that every time I try to kill her, she just comes back. With extreme precedent. Well, sorry, with extreme prejudice. The Merchant of Death and his group leave the room and head out. You feel like you're ready to go too, but the ECS leader stops you. Let me guess. I'm the weapon that you've been preparing for years alongside Dr. Dragon. I'll go back in and kill her. Well, I mean, I'll go back in and kill the leader of the Sisterhood of Karn. I hit him up with my plan with like the EMP thing, but if he's leaving, well, I was going to suggest you go in and have some fun and whatever, but seeing as you're so eager, you can go back in and kill Karn. We'll send in the rest of our forces to distract the remaining Karn forces after you've killed Karn. Okay, cool. So I'm going to say, Karn, you already know that I'm going to kill you because you saw the future. You should just give up and agree to the terms of the ECS treaty. Yeah, I don't know. If I'm the secret weapon or whatever that can defeat her, that's cool. I highly suggest you reconsider your decision. The ECS's plan will fail, and when it does, we'll come for you. My sisters and I will personally make sure that you and all of your allies suffer the worst tortures our minds can come up with before we finally kill you. Okay. So I'm being threatened by Karn. It is funny how you have the same name as your god, but how you lack your god's presence. I was literally designed to kill you, or rather, the experiments that altered my body were designed to kill you. You know that if we fight, you die. You have no room to threaten me. Fold to the ECS, or I'll fold you. There we go. You're just as pathetic as they said you were. Go ahead and send in your sacrificial lambs then. I'll be more than happy to peel the skin off their bones. As you wish, Karn. This is something I've waited. Oh, sorry. This is something I've wanted for a long time. Okay. Says Karn. So Karn thinks she's hype. I'm about to rain on her parade. I'm going to attempt to use my enhanced strength to release a shockwave clap to blow away the forces of the Sisterhood of Karn. So let's see how this goes. We're in full-on fight mode now. Your superpowers are put to great use as you clap your hands and release a shockwave of powerful air that rips through the stone floor and sends all of the Karn forces into the air. Okay. I'm going to attempt to use my super speed to quickly fire arrows through the hearts of the falling forces of Karn. Because I learned archery from the Sisterhood of Karn. Yeah, it's like I have the skills of the Sisterhood and I have the, experiments that enhance me from ECS. You quickly raise your hands and fire a volley of arrows to the air. Each arrow finds its mark in the hearts of Karn's forces. We're detecting a portal opening. New forces are coming in. You hear Caparel shout. I don't know who the fuck Caparel is. Okay. I'm going to say, are they reinforcements for the ECS or backup for Karn? Because I have no idea. Yeah, either I have a lot more people to fight right now, or I have, a lot of allies. What the fuck? They're ECS, but they're also dead. They're skeletons. They must have been in the portal when it opened. We'll be able to beat them back easily enough. Wait a minute. The portal's still open. So, damn it. Yells Caparel. I still don't know who the fuck Caparel is. I'm gonna have Victor be here. So I'm gonna have Victor yell that second line. Oh, great. Undead ECS. So we have to, well, I mean, why would the ECS skeletons Hold on a second. Karn, are you able to use your Karn has a lot of powers. Karn has, like, precognition and telepathy. Is Karn puppeting the mind, or I guess just controlling? Are you controlling the minds of the undead ECS agents who are coming through the portal? This is getting wild. This is getting, like, really wild really fast. Yes, they are mine to control now. Thanks to you, my powers are growing. I can finally destroy the ECS with your help. I'll be able to dominate all of the realities. Goodness, like, the Karn forces have no chill, exclaims Karn. Never, you reply. Okay, interesting. So she claims that I'm somehow making her stronger. But how? Karn... I guess I'm gonna ask, how am I making you stronger? I just shot arrows through the hearts of all your forces. Now, all you have left are your skeletons in your own heart. Yeah, like, I'm pretty much just gonna kill her. Because if she's controlling the skeletons, all I have to do is beat her and the skeletons die. Arrow through the heart. You must have missed. I'm right here. You didn't hurt me at all, Karn replies. You stare in confusion as the Karn forces suddenly levitate off the ground. Karn, you possess incredible power. I can't believe that you are able to raise the dead. I originally wanted to join with the Femights to help protect Paradigi. But now, I'm not sure if the Femights are strong enough to stop you. Allow me to join your ranks, and together, we can rule the galaxy. That's right, I'm about to heel turn hella hard. Karn's skeletal mouth turns into a smile. I see what Victor saw in you. How could I ever turn down an offer like that? The offer is retracted, you young. Too late, replies Karn as a portal opens next to him. Okay, so hold on. I'm not retracting my offer. I'm gonna retry that. I'm touched by your offer, but I don't think so. I've changed my mind about Paradigi. I want you to blow it up. What? You exclaim. Okay, fuck, so she wants me to blow up the planet? Okay. Dang. Everyone wants to test me. The Femights tested me by having me work with the ECS. The ECS tested me by having me infiltrate the Sisterhood. And now, the Sisterhood is trying to test me by having me blow up Paradigi. I don't care what any of you want. I want to claim the flowers of Paradigi. I wanted to claim the flowers through an uneasy alliance with the Femights. But now, I think I just need to take what's mine. Yeah, so my character's fed up. I'm being strung along. It never seems like I'm gonna get to like the goal that I'm looking for. So I'm just gonna take my own path. So be it, Mr. Hark, replies Karn. You draw your bow back and notch an arrow. You fire the arrow with all your might. The arrow strikes the explosive tanks that the Sisterhood has placed around the island, and a massive explosion ensues. Whoa. Why do they have explosive tanks around that? It feels even more like a video game. During the chaos, I'm going to attempt to take as many flowers as I can and escape. I said you too many times. You fire multiple arrows at the explosive tanks until they explode. The explosion destroys the portal that the Sisterhood created. You wonder if any of them survived the explosion. A few of Karn's minions try to attack you, but you kill them with ease. It didn't really mention the whole flowers thing. Retry. You escape the island of Paradigi with your life, but only a few of the magical glowing flowers. With your life, but only a few of the magical glowing flowers. So I got a few of the flowers. It said I escaped the island of Paradigi. Or Paradigi. Blah, blah, blah. But Paradigi isn't an island. So I'm going to change that. You escaped the island of the Sisterhood with your life, but with only a few, But with only a few of the magical glowing flowers. You now have enough money that you don't have to work with Franklin's Co. again, but you're left wondering what you'll do with your life. I don't know what it means by Franklin's Co. Let's see. I think I can change that to something that makes sense. With your magical flowers, you now could sell them to become extremely wealthy. But you're not sure what you'll do with your life. You know that the Femights, ECS, and Sisterhood of Karn all want you dead. So, I think I know what I'm going to do for my happily ever after. I'm going to use the magic... What? It said quest complete, prove your worthiness to the Femights. I betrayed the Femights. I'm going to use the magic flowers to try and teleport to Aldef 3 to find asylum and retire. So that's my goal. You appear in a puff of smoke on the streets of Aldef 3. You have not been indicted yet, so you are free to travel. You wonder if you should retire here, or if you should try to find your way onto another pirate vessel so you can make one last score. Interesting. I'm going to decide to retire on Aldef 3 because I believe that I'll be safe here from the Femights, ECS, and the Sisterhood of Karn. Yeah, I'd rather be here than be dead. You enjoy your life on the streets of the neutral city of Aldef 3 with the small nest egg you managed to scrape together. There is a constant demand for the magical glowing flowers, so you do okay. Okay, ball in. I'm going to put in like I live happily ever after. I'm gonna put like a solid stamp on the story, just end it right there. You lived a good life, but it ended when you died of natural causes in your bed at the age of 58. Well, there you have it. That's the story of Jackson Hark, who goes from wanting to ally with the Femights to working with the ECS to take down the Sisterhood of Karn to infiltrating the Sisterhood of Karn and then betraying ECS to deciding to take my own path and running away from all responsibility in order to retire on some alien worlds that I had learned about during the same adventure, knowing that I'd probably be safe there. Because the ECS wanted the Sisterhood of Karn to ally with them so that they could take down Aldef 3. But the Sisterhood of Karn didn't agree to work with ECS, which means ECS doesn't really have the ability to just take down Aldef 3. Excuse me, and ECS and the Femights already work together, right? So they clearly aren't strong enough to take down Aldef 3 by themselves, because if they were, they wouldn't have needed the Sister of Karn. So yeah, I think it makes sense that I'd be able to like retreat to Aldef 3 and just chill. Plus, I'm like a superhuman too, so I probably could do some crazy shit if somebody rolled up on me. And maybe it would have been interesting to have done a story where I was like 58 years old fighting off against like mercenaries who have tracked me down for years and stuff like that. You know, that'd be interesting. Do some, like some John Wick shit, some red shit. But yeah, that's my adventure in Paradigi. This definitely did not go in any direction I originally expected. I also didn't think that I'd be doing this for an hour. But hey, I had a fun time, and I hope you guys did too. Thank you all for watching. This is your host, your friend, your boy, Jet Black the One Only, logging out. Peace, guys. Check it about.